is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. You got to come out ready.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Philip Rivers.
One way you become the all-time leading passer for your team is pure talent, and Philip Rivers has plenty of that. But there's also dedication to your craft and the willingness to get better all the time. Philip Rivers has a van set up with a driver so that when he goes to and from practice, he's able to watch tape and find ways to improve his mechanics each and every day.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, up over 130 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
Throwing, Rivers. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Michel. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. And here are the defensive starters, and their coordinator is hoping that they have short-term memories from last week.
A very tough week indeed, Brandon. All they want to do now is be solid right out of the gate. No big plays given up early.
On 2nd down, Michel. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. The give, this is Michel. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long.
Set, 390.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
319.
On 1st down, Rodgers throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
First down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now Rodgers, a free play. Fights free at the 5. He's got Evans.
Offside. Defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
The penalty is declined.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
So now then the penalty's got them set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. David Johnson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Michel on the counter. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the ground, this is Michel. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. Dancing. And the Steelers are in for the touchdown. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Underneath for Johnson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 10-7 our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now Michel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On the ground, Michel. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Rivers. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Let's go, come on.
On second down, Johnson. And some strong running. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now Lutz for the field goal try. Get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Rivers on 1st down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. A nice little completion there by Philip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations, so he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Rivers to throw it. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Rivers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down.
Hey, ready?
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set, 2nd down, Rivers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That'll be taken in the end zone. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3-and-out. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
So that'll bump it back to a 1st and 15. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
319! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And a throw right sideline is complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Johnson. Escapes the defender. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
319.
To throw is Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. Touchdown, Packers. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. On the ground is Michel, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And the Steelers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be third and a mile. They'll run it. This is Michel. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. And now let's look at David Johnson. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
And they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Evans has it left side. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
That's complete to Cobb. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. Sam Darnold has a touchdown pass. From there, we stay in the Empire State. We head up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Devontae Parker, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Rodgers now on first down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rodgers now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Here's Harris. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. A first down throw here for Rivers. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Ryan Kerrigan in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Washington. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the point after try for Santos. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will tie things at 20 all. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Oh, what a move. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let him outside.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle to Evans. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And a quick throw here. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
319. Rodgers from the gun on 3rd down. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. So it's his third field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And they convert on third with a gain of 22.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Rivers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Rivers again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and short.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. To the air again here, Rivers. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Good. 380.
They'll run with Michel. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, it's Michel. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Rivers, and incomplete here on 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. This will be from 49 yards out. And this will not have the distance to get there. Short, no good, just under the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
58.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Set. 380.
Second down, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. The Packers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and He's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football. And that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 5. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
319! 319!
They'll try to run with Harris. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. Countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react fast enough and get his hands up.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
319!
Rodgers now to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Mike Evans, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done.
319!
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He fights him off, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2.
319!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
319!
To throw is Rodgers. And this one's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
That's true. You've said that before. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good, too.
He's over 100 yards, has the one touchdown score to this point. To throw, Rivers to Michel on the screen. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Ready, white 90.
Here's Rivers. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Rivers to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Rivers now to throw on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll throw again. Rivers. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. A first down throw here for Rivers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his last 7 straight passes.
Set 180. Hey, hot.
Again, it's Rivers. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rivers now on 2nd down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the red zone now, Rivers. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Set 390. Hey, hot.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Throwing Rivers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Santos with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They go to Johnson again, and he'll go down at the 28. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
All right, let's go. Come on.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Good bounce back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Packers, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.